Good day, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the voice of reason. And yes, this is another lesson in insanity, and it's titled, Diversity is Your Doom. Yes, diversity is your doom. So here in the United States, if you were to go to work, say, for the federal government, since the left-wing takeover of the federal bureaucracy, and it's been going on for some time, you will hear a phrase that is quoted quite a lot, and that is, celebrate diversity. Celebrate diversity. Now, what is diversity? What is the root word of diversity, I should say? It's division. Division. Celebrate division. And within this quote-unquote celebration of diversity, you have a celebration of hypocrisy. What's good for one group here in the United States, and other nation states as well, does not apply to another group. It doesn't apply. So, for instance, an African American in the workplace is allowed to say the word nigger. If a white person, an Anglo-Saxon, a person of Caucasian descent, were to say the word nigger, God help you. And it's thrown around, especially in the African American sector of society, at an incessant rate. And again, we've created two cultural norms. Diversity. Diversity. In the United Kingdom, I'm watching things very, very closely in the United Kingdom and Europe. I'm watching the gravitational shift in the populations. If you look at the current Muslim population in the United Kingdom, the information that I'm looking at right now states there are over between 4 and 5 million Muslims in the United Kingdom. In France, there is approximately 6 million. Germany, 5 million. Italy, 3 million. Are there millions of Europeans living in Muslim countries? And the answer to that is no, absolutely not. So why are they coming to these European nation states? Well, for one, the quality of life is better. That is not the fault of those European nation states. Yet they come. When they arrive, we see the cultural norms start to change. What's good for one group is disallowed for another group. The reproduction rate is another factor that has to be looked at. It is highly probable at least one of the greater European powers, the United Kingdom, France, or Germany, depending on the political situations in those countries, at a certain point, the Muslims are going to overpopulate and cause a political shift in those countries where you could see Sharia law come into effect. My understanding is you see that in certain places in Europe now. I'm talking on a national level. And don't say it can't happen. It can happen. Europe has not protected itself. It has left itself wide open for hostile takeover from the inside. Now we can have a close look at Islam. We can have a close look at what many of these Muslims who live in European nation states and those outside of European nation states, just what they believe in. Most would say that a caliphate will exist at some point. What does that look like? How big it is? Where it expands to? Where it ends? Difficult to say. But most do believe that. If we look at, again, at the militancy that's taking place in the United Kingdom, such as this picture here, slay those who insult Islam. Slay those who insult those who submit Islam. Slay those who insult Islam. Now, if you were to see a sign saying, slay those who insult Christianity, what would happen? This is a very common picture. Very common. Very common picture in France, in Europe. Rioting Muslims. They came to this place. They were not brought to this place. And this is what they do. But again, as the populations, and especially the birth rate, continue to change. Look, Muslim peoples have a much higher birth rate than the Europeans living in England, France, Germany. It's a fact. And each day, more and more are being imported into the country. And they are continuing to reproduce. Eventually, you will have the tilt. And in a democracy, the majority ultimately prevails. And then it's over. Very disturbing. Do not celebrate diversity. Diversity is your doom.